Hey everybody, we're back. We've been working on other projects that haven't really been laser related, and we've fiddled around with the diode laser, but we're back today with the CO2 laser. And Cameron has been learning, no air assist? Oh, wow, okay. Pardon?
Not very rated.
Very smoky. Anyway, we have been looking at how to do wood inlays, and Cameron has tinkered with this today and figured out how to make it happen. This is inspired by Laser Dave over at Trotec Laser. Cameron, do you want to talk about what settings you're using and what perf settings you're using?
Sure. So what we're doing here is engraving to a little over 2 millimeters depth because the wood we're going to inlay is 2 millimeters thick. And so for this, I'm using a speed of 200 millimeters per second and 85% power with a line interval of 0.06 millimeters. Of course, those settings will maybe different on your machine. But you do a little experimenting and find out how you want to set those to get that depth. And in a few minutes, after we get done with this, we'll cut the inlays out of some birch plywood. And we'll do those at a speed of 30 millimeters per second and 20 power. And we're using a curve setting of 0.074 millimeters. And I learned how to do the curve setting in another video that we'll link underneath this video so you can go and see how that's done.
Yeah, and just Cameron, this is what it'll sort of look like. This is what Cameron did earlier today. And so again, you have the walnut underneath. We have that masked right now with blue tape and birch, I think it's birch, inlay. And so you can see it's pretty flush there. You know, we're just getting started with this here, but there are all kinds of cool techniques you can do with this. So I will come back when we're cutting the birch out and we'll show you the rest of the process. Just as a point of interest, kerf, spelled K-E-R-F, like Frank, is the amount of material that is displaced or pulverized or that's missing when you cut something. So anybody who's used a saw knows that the sawdust that you have on the floor is what your kerf was. There's material missing from when the blade goes through, and that's the same concept as, you know, here we're looking at the thickness of the laser, right? The diameter of the laser.
No, saw the kerf is usually the width of the blade if you're using it to cut with.
Okay, so the same thing here. It's the diameter of the laser.
More or less. It's the amount, it's the width of the material that's removed by the laser. You know, that material gets vaporized, so it may not actually be the width of the light.
Okay. All right. So just in case anybody wanted to know what kerf is, so you have to be able to fit this, you have to be able to fit this lettering and this cat into the hole that's cut out here for the cat and the lettering. And so you need to make the walnut cut a little bit bigger than what this birch is going to be so that it will fit in there like a puzzle, but a really, really tight fit is what you're looking for. So that's kerf. Okay, we're back, and Cameron's testing. Oh, can't see it. Are we deep enough? 2.07. It's uneven, but you're going to have that with the layers of plywood, right?
That's great.
Pardon? So right now he's testing to see if the birch, this wood, will be flush with this wood when he does the inlay.
I wish it was slightly deeper, but that's only 2.06.
So are you gonna cut a little dark heart out because this will be birch, or are you gonna? Oh, I see. That's raised. Okay, never mind. Duh. My problem. All right. So, do we have the depth that you want?
I guess I wish it was a little bit deeper, but I don't know if I'll run it again.
All right. So now on to the other cut.
Yep.
Okay, we're back and we're about to cut out the inlays. And so what Cameron has explained is that when you have an image on a computer screen like this and you don't adjust for kerf, the laser goes right in the middle of that line. But when you are cutting out something that needs to fit inside something else, you put the laser a little bit toward the outside of that line instead of dead center, so that you are eliminating more material, essentially. You're making
the object a little bit bigger, because you want the object to actually follow that line. If the laser follow that line, the curve of the laser actually cuts away a little bit extra.
okay.
And that's what the curve is. So
Right.
when you adjust for a curve, you actually put the laser outside that line so that the resultant cutoff is the right size.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Cameron is using some kind of super glue here, super T, and setting up. I guess you don't need very much of this, right?
No.
That is the sigh of frustration.
Yeah, because I've messed it up.
Well, we're gonna lacquer it anyway. I know you're not supposed to use very much of that. So is there any way you can get that blue thing and wipe it, or no?
Can, but there will still be some there. Won't get it all.
All right, well, at least clean it up a little bit and then we'll lacquer it anyway. Okay, so light touch. It's going together pretty well. How flush does it feel to you?
Not as flush as I would like it, but it's going in.
Well, some people will put something over that and then bang it with a mallet.
Yeah, should have gotten something to press it with.
Okay, so based on this cut, would you change the kerf settings at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that means you've dialed it in for these two materials.
I might adjust it slightly. It is a little bit tight, but you have to go bring it.
Yeah. All right, so he's gonna take the mallet to it. Hey everybody, I'm back with a little bit of a follow-up from our attempts to learn how to do wood inlays with the laser. And these are our experiments. They're not finished, they're not sprayed or anything like that. But this is basically what we ended up with, and they're not quite where they need to be in terms of the evenness. Inlay should be pretty smooth and not like these parts should not be raised from the surface, and they are a little bit. It would be really hard for me to show you that. We think this one came out a little bit better, and so we were just kind of experimenting around, but this is where we ended up for now. And we're gonna go back to the drawing board and see if we can learn a little bit more about how to perfect this. We did buy some veneer that we haven't tried yet, and we think that maybe that's the way to go with this. So also this is really thin wood. As you can see, this is just 1/8 inch. So, you know, you don't have a lot of room for error. So maybe we'll use 1/4 inch. We'll see. We're gonna experiment, but this is where we are.